Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
Dude. This is a special global warming alert from the Dave and Juan More Time podcast. Wrap your pipes and protect your tender vegetation because, you know, Greta Thunberg or whatever tells us the earth is on fire, somewhere beneath 3 feet of ice and snow. It's really heating up, baby. Anyway, thank God for clean burning propane. You're welcome, America. This is Dave and Juan. Whoa!
And 3.
Number 2.
Followed by 1. Woohoo! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition. Global warming. A special global warming edition of the Dave and Juan More Time podcast. In America, as you bundle up, as you wrap your pipes and bring your pets inside and do all this stuff to scrape all this global warming off of us, you're
welcome, man.
welcome. A couple of Southern guys here bringing you hopefully entertainment information on it's a frozen country right now,
Dude. Well, what's it where you are now? Is it?
Oh, hang on, where I am right now, it's Hi everybody, how are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Give it some thought there. Oh, it's not that cold right now. It's in the 50s, going to get to the mid 30s tonight. And the crap hits us when this drops. Okay, I'm saying, so we're doing this on a Sunday. Let's timestamp this. But guys, you're likely, those of you that are catching this stuff right when it falls off the truck, this is going to be on the Monday on MLK Day. It's so this episode drops on MLK. Is it appropriate to say Happy MLK Day? I never could figure these things out. You know, I guess happy you have a day off, but it's not exactly.
No, I don't know. It's a holiday for some people. It's an honor, not a celebration. So I guess it's a celebration of his life.
For some, well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure it's I'm just saying it's one of those. Yeah, I guess it's a solid for some people. Well, I work mostly in the banking world, so brother, we all closed.
So yeah, your people could be closed.
My people. Well, you got to go
there.
It's
a birthday. I mean, it's not the assassination day. So there you go.
I'm gonna ask you. You started on, man. Your internet must be acting up today. You're kind of cutting in and out, and I'm not sure if I'm doing that, but it's been a minute since that happened. I want to pull a Tropic Thunder on you and say, "What you mean, my people?" But yes, it is an incredibly cold week. I've got friends all over the country. Again, my people, these bankers. Up in the northwest and northeast, but northwest as well. Just crazy pictures of one of them, which is the worst. Snow is bad. Okay, any snow sucks, especially when you start piling up feet on feet. But I had some friends up in the Portland area, the Oregon area, who had freezing rain, basically the pellets for a few hours. It's like it's almost like clear.
What's that's gotta be worse than snow.
Oh yeah, it's worse than snow. Oh man, it's like Dippin' Dots, unflavored clear Dippin' Dots, and you are frozen. Let's see if this. I don't know. Am I freezing up on
I
your
saw
end?
something, a new trend is people, and I saw this from Texas.
Okay, we're gonna have to redo. So here's what's good for you. Yeah, here's what's good for you, America. It says internet connection is unstable. So here's what we're going to do. We're not going to we're just going to clip it and come back. Or we're going to try to anyway. Yep. Let's see how this works. You miss us?
Dude, yeah. The lengths we go through.
I thought about this. And again, it's behind the scenes, guys. You don't care. Just sometimes internet don't. Maybe it's the frozen tundra out there.
It could be. You never know.
That is
lines frozen somewhere.
That's right. Al Gore somewhere is working hard on this. Al Gore right now
just plugged it back in.
He's on one of his yachts or maybe in his 30,000 square foot house somewhere trying to help us out. Trying to, worried about those polar bears and icebergs. And I like to make fun of this stuff. And I know some people get all upset when you start making fun of global warming. Good. Because You
That's why
notice
they
how
like to
quiet,
call it something. They'll just change the name.
you know how quiet everybody gets all during this summer, right? It was hot as all get out. Okay. Like I said, here in the Houston area, we hit 100 degrees
Yeah. Yeah, we hit it several days in a row.
weeks in a row. We had it weeks in a row. We had probably 27 or 28 days out of 30 that hit 100 degrees. All right. All you could hear was all
Hmm.
these global warming religious people talking about, oh, and but I always pointed out all these, even when we're hitting these high records, like, oh, it's 100 degree, it's whatever. When was this happening? July, August, whenever it was.
Hmm.
Um, we hit 100
Normally when it's
degrees,
hot.
and they start talking about uh, only 1 or 2 degrees off of the record. And my point was always, so you mean it's been hotter?
Yeah.
So, so you mean when you're giving me a record from 1968, that tells me, okay, same thing here. We are literally, and you know I'm serious when I say literally. Suppose I shouldn't say that because we don't know until it happens, because weather's
Yeah.
unpredictable sometimes. We're supposed to break the all-time record cold on Monday night for this day anyway. So however long they've been tracking this stuff, we're gonna supposedly get below that. We're supposed to get like 18 degrees, 18 or 19 degrees on probably this evening, as you guys may be
Yeah.
watching
Yeah.
this. And yet,
It's my daughter's actually at a swim meet this weekend in Memphis. It was supposed to end, or it is ending this evening, and they were going to drive back tomorrow. Um, but they're all on their way back now because it's supposed to snow there tonight.
yeah, I was about to say the dangerous part is not swimming in the cold in Memphis. The dangerous part is Memphis.
Yeah, there's that too.
Right. Memphis is just one of those other great American cities that, well, I don't want to start off on a negative here. Well, it seems like I'm being pretty negative about things, but I know, man, I don't mean to be, y'all. I'm not. But while we're on that trend, let's talk about some stuff, just random stuff. I'm sorry, I got nothing against the city of Buffalo, but y'all gotta give up your NFL team.
Dude, or if you get a roof or something.
Man, I'm sorry. That this is, if we are going to give the NFL the benefit that we've given the NFL, and we've just all adopted it as that's America's. The rest of the world has soccer. The rest of the world looks at us saying, "How is it that you got right?" But not us, not America. Somewhere along the way, the great NFL. I know how they did it. I mean, back in the 80s and 90s, and they lied to us and they wrapped us all. They all wanted to pretend they support the military and they're all American, which is all a crock. But they had us buy into that. NFL has become our sport. We just
Right.
it's Super Bowl is online with a major holiday, right? And yet, nothing personal, Buffalo. But what the dude? Even if they had a dome stadium,
Yeah,
they
I think if you can't
probably
get there.
they probably be canceling that game. And again, for those of you maybe watching this months down the line, the Buffalo Bills were supposed to play the Pittsburgh Steelers today, pretty much as
Are
we're
they playing
doing
right
this.
now?
But Buffalo went all Buffalo, and got a few feet of snow, and I'm not exactly sure how cold it is. I don't think it's not any colder than it
Yeah,
was.
I don't know. All I know is, I was gonna watch. That was one of the games I was interested in.
Yep,
And now I can't watch it.
I was
It-
going to play tomorrow. So,
Yeah,
but
it's
the
gonna be
Buffalo
ended during
Bills,
the day.
yeah, they're going to play it in the afternoon. Now it's a holiday, right? It's MLK Day, and we're saying tomorrow, as you guys
Yeah.
see this, it may be today, and this game will probably have been played by the
Hmm.
time we do this. But it's ridiculous, right? And I looked it up a while ago. So the Buffalo Bills were a member inaugural. They were one of the first members of the
Oh, okay.
AFL.
The AL, it was the AFL then. Yeah.
AFL that eventually merged with the NFL, and some teams got that, or maybe all the teams got to stay. I forget. I know the NBA, when the NBA merged with the ABA, a lot of ABA teams went away, but I think maybe the AFL, I guess they kept all the teams.
I
But
think so.
anyway,
I mean, yeah, or they became other teams at some point.
but apparently Buffalo back in this 1960 when they became a team. So apparently back in the 60s and 70s, Buffalo must have been just a tropical paradise. Um, that or something weird happened, right? Because they never canceled games for this kind of stuff before.
No,
But now,
I think they've had one in Buffalo canceled before, stuff like that. But,
well, they moved one to Detroit last year,
yeah,
right? So apparently this global warming is just kicking
yeah.
Buffalo's butt.
And I heard it was pretty cold at the Kansas City game, which I didn't watch last night because I wasn't paying to watch it.
Let's talk about that too. Again, those of you that aren't, and I even put something on Facebook. I was just ticked off. I just put a few lines on there about like, is it sort of as bad form, or is it wrong for me to wish
No,
that this game?
a lot of people are mad.
Ooh, people were mad. People were mad. That's how arrogant and obnoxious the NFL has gotten. It's a playoff game. It's a playoff game, and yet they decide that if you want to see the playoff game, you're going to have to Peacock. What the hell?
Peacock is owned by
NBC.
NBC. It's NBC streaming service. Now, what I wondered about is people who have like a number of cable outlets and other streaming services have the NFL Sunday ticket, which means you pay for every game regardless of your market.
I don't know.
I wondered if they got it.
I don't know. Somebody told me that Xfinity owns. Does Xfinity own NBC now, or something
I don't
like?
know who is it now.
Whatever.
But
But
this is the thing, and you could have done the whole $5 for a month subscription, and then like 90% of the people forget
cancel
about
it. That's what they do.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we're complaining about that, but let's go back to it. Buffalo, you got to give up the team. I'm sorry. That or these, and you know what? I actually have a couple of friends, maybe more than a couple, but I have a few folks I know up there, and no disrespect. I'm sure Buffalo's a lovely place 9 months out of the year. I hear all about what they call them, the Bills Mafia. They're all devoted. Because pretty much what happens, same thing in Green Bay. When you got a town that becomes sort of a podunk town,
Yeah.
but you actually have an NFL team. And what they're doing now is they're offering, I think it's $15 or $20 an hour for just anybody and food to go out there and shovel. They don't have enough crew. They don't have enough crew to shovel off the field and the stands, the parking lots. But here's where I'm a little irked with the good folks of Buffalo. So say you get to keep an NFL team, and the only reason you get to keep it is because all the TV money,
Yeah.
and right, because your market could not support an NFL team, just not going to happen. Hey, I got news for you guys. Neither could New Orleans. Neither could New Orleans. And people forget about this. They so forget about this. You gotta cross yourself whenever you say Tom Benson. Oh, Tom Benson kept the Saints in New Orleans. Not because he wanted to. Not because he wanted to. The Saints were gone, but the Saints would have been the San Antonio Saints by now.
Oh yeah, there wouldn't have been kind of Katrina.
Katrina
Made it as close as it ever was, and then you just couldn't abandon the city.
100% Katrina. For all the wrong and all the bad and all the devastation Katrina brought, it kept New Orleans. It kept the Saints in New Orleans. But so Buffalo apparently, after all this time, is building a new stadium. Okay, they're going to be building a new, but you know what? They're not going to enclose it.
Not at all.
Because they wanted to say, oh, it needs, the weather is part of the whatever. And
yeah,
okay, yeah, really? JJ Watt had a tweet yesterday, the day before, and I give him credit. JJ Watt's actually pretty astute on some things, and he pointed that out. He's basically saying, hey, Buffalo, which is it? All right. Does weather matter or not? Because the rest of the country is basically saying, hey, it'd be nice if you guys are going to keep a team. Why don't you put a roof on this freaking miserable thing?
And this is what that always stuff. It's, first of all, how many people on the Buffalo Bills are from Buffalo?
Not a lot. Ed Oliver, Ed Oliver played at UH. I guarantee he's making a lot. And I guess what? When they pay you millions and millions and millions of bucks, I guess that sort of warms your feet.
But my point is, it's not. So just say this is part of the culture. Whose culture? The fans, not the players.
Suck on it. I grew up, and I know we're probably. Hey, look, didn't know this would be an NFL version, but this is where we are, guys, and we're in the middle of the of the best part of the football year. Yeah, I used to despise. I had nothing against Buffalo per se, but I hated the fact we grew up in the era where they went to the Super Bowl four freaking times. Jim Kelly and that crew, and they always had a good enough record that it was always home games in Buffalo, which meant you didn't get to watch actual football. You got to watch this freaking tundra nonsense. Just like last night with again, I only saw clips of the Kansas City game. Man, you're not really, yeah, you technically playing football, but that sucks, man. Even soccer wouldn't do that. I guess I don't, but anyway. So that's again, it's a special global warming edition of the day. Have you prepped your or ready to prep your any prepping necessary on your house?
Wednesday, man. Tuesday night is when it's supposed to get real bad here.
I think tomorrow night's supposed to be getting a little sketch.
It's
hang on a sec.
I live in the town, dude. I'll go throw a pool noodle on the faucet outside twice and I'm good.
Pool noodle. Well, that's the kind of stuff. Let's see what I'm pulling up here. So no, so I again, things change, weather changes, because I sent this to my my sons and nephews last night that are in the house in Thibodeau, that they called for about an 80% chance on Monday night into Tuesday of Thibodeau getting up to about an inch of snow.
Nice. So it's pretty much an 80% chance of another school closure.
Oh, yeah. Well, they were going to be closed anyway, right? Wasn't it ML? No, it's
Monday,
they're
supposed to be open on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
They closed one day. They closed Monday, first day back from school or from Christmas break, because of that thunderstorm y'all got. We didn't get much of nothing.
They closed schools for that. So anyway, so that's going to be. But even then, snow is not that big a deal. It comes down to temps when temperatures get below, say, 25, 24. Yeah.
And I get it. Look, man, you can't, it's all liability issues.
Oh, no. I'm talking about, well, yeah, they're going to do what they're going to do. Yeah. What I'm talking about is things to protect at your house. You already said you kind of downsize yard. You don't have much of a yard or anything in the yard.
No, anything I have, 99% of what I have can die. I don't care.
We do the same thing here every year, usually always once a year. Sometimes it happens a couple times a year, where my wife, I think she feels obliged to tell me, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. And I'm like, yeah, we kind of do. Because when you have various potted plants and things you've done for years, it takes forever to get stuff going. Stuff it's expensive.
Well, that's the whole deal. If you don't do it, you're going to rebuy it.
Yeah. Or you're just not going to have what you're going to have. So it's a lot of effort, but yeah, I try to, and I usually do okay until the idiots, and let me rephrase that, idiots, in case I didn't say idiots clear enough, who run the power grid around here. Ever since they switched us off to, Texas used to be, man, don't worry about Texas. Texas has our own power grid. Screw the world. You can't mess with us. You can't mess with Texas. We got our own power grid. But then somewhere along the way, they put a good chunk of our power grid on wind and solar. Well, guess what? That crap don't work. And all of a sudden, you got temperatures that are so low that people that never run their heaters or barely run their heaters start running their heaters. Not to mention all the electronic vehicles plugged into everything everywhere.
Wow, there you go. And what pulls the most heat or the most electricity? Is
cars.
There's that. But in your home, it's the HVAC system, whether you're cooling it or heating it.
True that.
So if you're going to other sources of energy when you need it most is when it's not there.
So as long as I have, over the years, I've accumulated, these, it's a stake on it, these lights, you put bulbs in it, what do you call them? I just call them yard
lights.
Yard lights as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I probably got 12 of those things. They just sit in an ice chest that I have. And I kept the old light bulbs when I changed all the bulbs and stuff on our house. I kept a bunch of good old heat 'em up light bulbs, not like the stuff we have now. I got lamps in here I can touch. I can leave my hand on. They don't burn you. I'm talking about the good old bulbs. The kind used to hang when you had, we had the Chicken of Tomorrow contest.
Yeah.
Where we had you had the bulbs that gave off heat that the chicks would get around, those kind of bulbs. So I put that out in the yard and my, covered areas with because I got a big old freaking, it's kind of blessing and a curse, man. You buy a place and go, man, look at all those flower beds. It's awesome. And then when they become your flower beds, and I'm acting like we just bought this house. I've been there 20 freaking years, but
no, holds it down, man. You missed it. Supposedly that'll help.
That's yeah, kind of, but the yard's already kind of wet. It's just one of those things. It's supposed to be for the roots. You wanna wet
Yeah.
the roots of things. If the soil's moist, it has a better chance. But I sent you a picture. We had that wind that blew
That
through.
yeah, it's like 60 mile an hour.
Okay, so we probably got a 50 or 60 mile an hour gust, and I guess technically, I still sort of have about a 30-foot palm tree.
I don't know what
Uh,
happens when they break though. If they grow from the trunk or
I don't think this one's coming back. I mean, I especially with another freeze coming. But I had these two things that somebody planted. I'm sure when they built this house, and this house is about 30 years old, I guess. I forget how old the house is. And they planted them way too close to the damn house, like everybody does when they plant stuff.
yeah, you never
And
think about it, growing.
and we had matching palm trees. And I mean, they big. My house is a 2-story house, and it's probably even taller than 2 stories. And these palm trees are taller than the house. I mean, the big palm trees. One got hit by lightning, right, a few years back, and that's the one that I joked about. My neighbor, I got a text. Hey, Dave, your tree's on fire.
That's it's way up there though.
I'm like, you can call for that, man. Don't just send a random text.
Yeah.
Same neighbor last week. And the wind was coming through, and I was like, oh, I was home by myself. My wife was at work. I think my son was at work as well. So I was working at home that day, and I think I heard a thud. You kind of hear something, but then I'm like,
Yeah. Does it just? I mean, did it just like snap and so it fell?
apparently so the tree was about 30 feet, give or take, maybe a little taller, and the top, say 9 to 10 feet of it broke off. Because that's where the weight was of the palms. It's a big palm.
Yeah.
It's kind of really heavy. And I hadn't realized how it had come back. 2 years ago, we had a massive freeze, and we thought it might have died. It took about a year for it to start sprouting something again. So it did, and it was really heavy up there. And apparently, along the way, I guess there was some freeze damage toward the top. And so, I mean, here the blessing of that is it just so happened to happen when the wind was coming at that angle and blew it into the front yard, missed the
Yeah.
house,
As
missed
opposed
the
to the
fit.
house.
But my neighbor filmed. He came around. He was filming
Oh
stuff,
wow.
and he doesn't have footage of it falling. Him and his wife were filming outside the wind, right? Just how things were blowing around and how it looked like Wizard of Oz. I mean, these clouds were rolling in. It was freaking ominous. And as they're in their backyard, they kind of look up, and I guess they can always see. They can see my yard, or they can see
Hmm.
up front. And you hear his wife say, "Honey, did the Martins cut their palm tree down?"
Yeah, just now.
He's like, "No, I don't think so." Oh my gosh, it looks like it broke off. And then they came around, and they got some footage of it when I was out there. And he told me that. He goes, "Hey man, we're even now. I didn't call you last time. The other one caught fire, but because that's what he called me. He said, "Hey Dave, you home?" Yeah. I said, he said, "You know that part of your palm tree is sitting in your front yard?"
Lord.
I know.
So is that how you got on the Wizard of Oz rabbit hole that you seem to be running down when you kept texting
Uh,
Wizard of Oz jokes?
it was just some funny stuff, man. I don't know. I just found, sometimes you just click on something and it's funny, and you kind of swipe, and there's another one, and there's another one, and yeah, just talking about the Wizard of Oz, how bizarro that is. Um, but no, not really. I was,
Dude, I got stuck on this the I don't know how. My wife's sick, so she's been going to bed early, so I just sit down and goof around on the phone. And this she's on TikTok. She's got a lot of followers. I'd never heard of her. Her name is Balin Dupree, but not from down here though.
okay.
She has really bad Tourette's, but she has she's an influencer or has does a lot of endorsement, but her stuff is living with Tourette's. And so she talks about it. And when you get past the initial awkwardness of the ticks and the vulgarity, which is, I'll fess up, that's why I was watching it.
Sure you were. Yeah.
Yeah, she got some interesting stuff. But yeah, she's got some cool little ticks and she hashtags them and I was like, yeah. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
So yeah, you gotta, God bless America. Somebody can take a disability.
Yeah, dude, I bet she's making jack.
Ah, And you know, it's unfortunate. I think that has suckered a lot of people into thinking that you just make a bunch of money doing this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, and it's like, no, not, every now and then it'll catch fire and they'll make a lot of money for a little while. But I don't know. I don't know what the business model is on. Hey, you
On
know what?
Tourette's.
I got Tourette's. Let me just no, I was pulling up. So oh yeah, that was the Wizard of Oz stuff. Dorothy. Oh no, my house killed someone. Glinda. It's okay. She sucked. Dorothy, who are you? Glinda. I'm a good witch. Dorothy, are you sure? Yep. Now let's steal that dead bee's shoes. You think about it, that was a messed up story, right?
Yeah. Oh, the whole thing was, dude.
Like, man, the whole Wicked Witch, I mean, she had every right to be mad. Like, man, you dropped a house on my sister and you stole her shoes, you Kansas hoe. Come on.
Yeah. And
Whatever.
threw water on me.
There you go. There you go. My other favorite one is Dorothy. This is Dorothy saying, "What is that?" The Scarecrow says, looking at the Tin Man. Looks like a guy with an axe and a can of lube. I'll ask if he wants to join us. I don't know. It may be funnier when you read them, guys. I don't know, but I went down that. So yeah, I started getting more winterizing to do tonight, or tomorrow, whenever. It never comes like, the bad part about these situations is they don't roll in peacefully and just nice and dry and slow drop of temperature.
But I don't think
always,
we're supposed to get, maybe we are. Maybe tonight we're supposed to get rain. I don't know.
this is Sunday. So by tomorrow night, you
Yeah.
probably should be. And on Tuesday for sure. But it's all the wind and things blowing around and it's wet. And, I guess that makes sense, right? You just, when the systems come in. So we'll see.
All I know is I'm going to be working.
You got to work on MLK Day.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna work on MLK Day. I'm gonna work on the freeze day.
Yeah,
we're not shutting this baby down.
I used to always pretty much have a speech to give on MLK Day when it first came out, because there's a big push back in the day. Some places, some states even, I think, said no. It's like we got enough holidays.
Yeah,
I remember like a lot of states were like, hey, okay, fine, we got nothing against it, but which one you going to take away? Like, you can't just keep adding days that we just shut down. You just can't do it.
Yeah, because I think, well, banks have all the holidays, but I think.
Well, now for a while there were a lot of banks, especially community banks, when the MLK Day started, sort of opted out. They were like, but you can't do that.
Can't do that now.
They got pressured like
I think
crazy.
some places traded like President's Day.
Might have been. But I always, there was a bunch of years in a row, I was always speaking at some bank somewhere because the banks were like, well, we got to close our branches, but we ain't going to throw this day out. We're going to bring, So yeah, it always seemed like I was always working MLK in some other state, but here's what it is. Talking about other states and ways you get to other states. Did you see that what happened recently with the Boeing 737?
Oh, the one that it blew up, or the window?
The door.
Yeah.
Freaking emergency door flew off. And here's the deal.
Was that the one where the kid's shirt got sucked off?
Could have been.
Was that the one that they said the window flew? They said that the window, but it looked like the size of the door.
I actually took a picture. No, man, it looks like the freaking door to me, unless they opened the door once they got back on the ground. Yeah. But so here's the deal. They had sort of flagged that a possible problem with these Boeing 737s. And when you say 737, there are different models of it. Okay. So I'm trying to see which one this is. You never know which one it is you're getting on. Right. Although you can, and I guess a lot of people probably will. But it's.
Yeah, I think on the ticketing information, it tells you something about the plane.
You can, but they can switch them on you too. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You don't know till you get to the gate. Okay, what am I flying on? They typically seem to be the same because they have the same seat configurations, and if they change the plane, then they got to start all over. But so apparently this had been flagged. This just tells you the kind of brain power we have running things right now. So the transportation, Secretary
Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, Buttigieg, that guy. So they are very proud of doing things like they were touting to the world a while back the fine they slapped on Southwest for, when Southwest had that meltdown last year and whatever happened, but they left a lot of people stranded. So,
Yeah.
oh man, we're just pounding our chest about we're paying, we're going to make them pay a fine and we're going to keep America from paying all these fees, because that's really what most America's worried about, right?
Right. Now some airlines, if you need an extra couple of seats because you're too big, they'll just go ahead and comp that for you.
That's right. Right. Yeah. Let's reward, right? At 310, we weren't going to give you an extra seat, but you know what? You put
Yeah,
your head
312,
to,
you got it, bro.
yeah. Now that you really, so, but in a world we're living in where people are worried about inflation, worried about losing track of all the wars we're sponsoring and involved in and paying for all over the world. And the fact that probably since we started this podcast, about another 1,000 people that we don't know who they are, where they're from, just came across, right? All that stuff.
Since you started that sentence.
That's right. So with all that stuff to worry about, they want to make sure that the airlines are not dinking you to death with these fees, because we know that's America's top priority. One of these things, this plane, I guess they identified that, hey, there was a problem with the equipment. There's something they needed to do to not have the door freaking fly off.
Right, to remedy the situation.
So you would think that might be a priority. They may say, you know what? Hey, Boeing. Oh, by the way, congratulations on all the advertising you do, Boeing, about how diverse you are now, which that's another wonderful thing. Don't get me wrong. Here's what always freaks me out. It's like, man, tout diversity all you want internally and do that. But when you're in a business or an industry that people rely on, that's not what people are worried about. Like, I don't.
It's my life.
Put a plane together that may not fall apart in the air. And this is, and I'm pointing it out because that's Boeing. Boeing is one of the wokest companies around. They knew something was wrong. So the plane where this blew out, I think it was an Alaska Airlines, if I'm not mistaken. They just kept it from flying over water. Right. That was their.
So if it blows out, you can land.
Yeah, and so they basically said, yeah, look, when you can get around to it, when it sort of fits the cycle of something, hey, can you go in there and maybe add this piece of hardware or do something that may keep the plane door or window, whatever it is, from blowing out? Nah, they just said, you know what? If it happens, let's just not let it happen over water where maybe they can't get back to an airport in time. And and luckily there was nobody sitting in that seat.
Yeah.
Now the first thing I thought of is, dude, that's exactly where I would have been sitting.
With your legs stretched out comfortably.
Man, that's the frequent. Yeah. If I can't get the aisle, I'm gonna take the window exit row, man. That's where you want to.
Well, I talked to this lady we know, a flight attendant, and I was saying, okay, well, how long does it take? When that happens for the cabin to be either pressurized or depressurized, whatever it is, so things aren't flying out of the hole.
Isn't it instantaneously?
She said, well, it wasn't that high, so it doesn't take long, maybe 10, 15 seconds.
Right. So you can't breathe.
Yeah. But still, initially things will get sucked out.
Man. So there you go. Those of you those of you that are listening to David and Juan at an airport right now.
On your way there.
It's okay. Just, hey, make sure that seatbelt is in. And hopefully your seat is not one that's sucked out.
Exactly. Speaking of airports, though, I did read this week that at the New Orleans airport, they had what they call one of the biggest, I wrote that down, one of the biggest finds or catches of 2023 at the New Orleans airport, one of TSA's biggest catches. Somebody was smuggling meth in through a jar of crab oil.
No.
Yes.
No.
Telling you. And I think it's Zatarans because it's brown. The jar's brown.
Hey, no way a dog's going to pick that up.
Yeah.
So meth, huh? I don't know. I'm sure they teach the dogs how to smell meth, but so they tried to bring it in.
They tried to bring it into New Orleans through, I guess I can get it out. if TSA caught it. I guess they're checking you when you're going out. Threw
Yeah, yeah.
a jar of crab boil.
I wonder
Yeah,
if they
let
were
me
check.
say,
I wonder if they checked that bag or they were trying to bring it on the plane.
I don't know, man. That's
Because look, whenever I fly with meth, I always check my bag.
yeah,
I don't
it's
think
Zatarain's.
pro boil. Yeah, I try not to. Yeah. I mean, I don't. I try not to carry my meth on the plane with
Well,
me.
yeah. You don't want to plausible deniability.
Right. Thankfully now United gives you an app that you can see. I think it's probably a lie. I think a lot of things they give us where we're supposedly tracking stuff is a lie. But on United now you can click a couple things and you can see if your bag was loaded onto your
Oh
plane.
wow.
And then if your bag, it'll tell you. But again, it's possible. I think it's a lie. I think it's a lie. I think it was like back when Domino's used to what we used to say you could track your pizza. And then you talk to somebody who works at a Domino's, they're like, yeah, no, that's not we we ain't doing none of that crap. But
Yeah. More fun stuff in New Orleans. I heard they were filming an episode of Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. I didn't know that was still on the air. I'm
I,
not a show that I've ever watched.
I just thought they called
Um,
that Tuesday in New Orleans, man. I mean, that's is that like a special event? Because I think I've
well,
walked into a few screenings in the past. I mean,
yeah, the production crew was threatening to pull out because somebody, one of the crew's
hang on, man,
cars got
stop.
No, stop. You stop that.
You had an interesting choice of words there, Juan. I didn't know if it was on purpose or not. Um, so they were going to pull out because somebody's car got jacked.
Yeah, I guess during production, somebody's one of the crew, production crew people's car got jacked.
We call that the New Orleans experience.
Yeah, part of the thrill, man.
Come get you some. Come come get you some. It's about time, right? Season starting, right? Isn't Mardi Gras like around
Yeah,
the
Mardi Gras is
corner? Or
underway.
is it officially? Are there any parades rolling?
Uh, I think so. I know they had a couple balls already.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
Good friends of mine are in Endymion. I got a few
okay.
friends that are in Endymion. I know Endymion start, but it looks to me like Endymion just parties all the time. I
Yeah,
don't.
Mardi Gras is pretty early this year though. So
Yeah, they've stretched. I think they stretched that out. You know, it's people. You know, it's not. They have a blast, I guess, riding on the floats and stuff.
yeah,
But man, they do some. They do some. They got a lot of galas.
spent a lot of money in those cruise, man.
Yeah, there you go. You know, it's good. Good hobby if you can swing it.
Not
Good
too
hobby if you
familiar.
can. And I know Endymion, I forget the whole lineup this year. You know, they have that huge party in the Superdome after they
Yeah,
roll.
yeah,
And
I've been to that.
well, I know one of the acts is Florida, which my buddy that rides in Endymion all the time says that's about the fifth time they bring this guy back.
You
So
gonna do that? Gonna do that one song?
low. I guess
Yeah,
that, but
apple bottom jeans with the fur.
yeah, they also have Sting.
Oh
Sting,
wow.
yeah, I know. I know. Endymion's got some money, man.
Who
Endymion's
when
got
I
some.
went, Kelly Clarkson played. There are a couple other big names.
She's
I
good. You know what? I'm not a fan of the talk. I hate all talk shows because by and large, if anybody with any brains and pride aren't going to do the talk shows because you have to talk about just embarrassingly stupid stuff, right? Because hey, now I shouldn't say this, and I don't know what the crossover is between Dave and Juan listeners and talk show watchers, and maybe I'm the pot calling the kettle black, but anyway, so I don't watch her show. I don't know how good she is as a
yeah,
talk
never
show
seen.
host, but that girl, woman, lady can sing. I always said, everybody out there, any female and a lot of males that have hit songs, y'all can just be thankful that they didn't run it by Kelly Clarkson first. Because she'll take anybody's song
Yeah, she's
and
good.
do it better than they did. And she does it all the time. I'm always like, you know, because that's one of my big things, man. Don't cover, and she's not doing it to officially cover and release it. But you know, that's what I hate about covers. It's like, no, you can't sing somebody else's song if you don't improve it
Yeah,
or
right. Give it a reason to do it.
give it a reason to be different. But she can flat out do it. Kelly Clarkson can just say, "Give me the sheet," And she'll sing it with like one dude on piano and some dude barely playing drums. And you're like, damn, that's a better version
Yeah.
than what came out. But so yeah, I'd like to go see her. But yeah, there you go. It has officially started. We're trying hard. I wanted to get down to Thibodeau to catch a couple of the parades, but I don't know if it's going to be able to happen.
Yeah, I think we'll I always got to check it against other things that we seem to have that time of year. But
It's
we always try to make it to Thibodeau from Mardi Gras.
Yeah, Thibodeau's got four. Right, they got the four parades,
Mhm.
two roll. I guess the week before
Yeah.
officially Mardi Gras, and then you've got the two parades that roll. I think it's the
The
Sunday
Sunday, the
before
poor
the.
man's parade and the rich man's parade.
Is that what they call
Mm-hmm.
them?
That's what we used to call them.
Yeah. But anyway, so I'd love to be there for that. So if you go, hey man,
I'll
they
check
got
it out.
they got
Go
the house. They got the
hang out
house
with some
right
Abe,
there.
man.
You got that's right. Go see Abe. You got the restroom. Got a golf cart. Tell them,
That's
hey
right.
man,
If I need the bathroom and I'm not close, I'm gonna call Abe to come pick
bro,
me up.
golf cart. Hey, that's the way to do a parade, man. You got your own food set up. You got your own restrooms back there, and you got a golf cart to get you back and forth. So there you go. But the only downside is all you cool choose to throw trash. Don't throw trash. That's somebody's yard, man. Don't do that. Thibodeau, don't do that.
Don't do
Don't
that, bro.
don't do that. Don't do that. And we're talking sort of New Orleans Saints wise. I'm just a little depressed for the Saints. Even though as I say this, and again, it has changed. So the Texans beat the dog snot out of
Dude, that was
Cleveland
a good
yesterday.
game.
So go Texans. So my adopted team here is shocking the world. My home team, all right, New Orleans. I'm watching all these fantastic, legendary coaches retire and leave, yet not
And
the
we still
freaking
got
Saints.
Dennis Allen.
I don't know what you're gonna do next year if you got Jameis and Dennis Allen on the same team, right? I mean, and I'm what the other thing too is all these NFL players, especially these ex NFL players, they keep coming out. They're all vouching for Jameis. Shut up. Everybody like
Here's
he's the best teammate. Yeah, it's a clown. Everybody likes the clown.
yeah, yeah.
Everybody loves the guy that looks like he doesn't. Right?
Here's my thing on it is, forget that it was Jameis. What it shows is, and Benjamin Watson posted something where he said, if the team's going to run a play against what the coach calls, it shows that the coach has lost the locker room. If the coach
100%.
then apologizes for it publicly immediately after, it shows he's not getting them back.
Oh, yeah, no. And again, it's sort of a 2 week old story now, but we don't, we only do this once a week. So we didn't the
That
first
was
time
last Sunday. Was it? I don't know.
was it two?
That was
We
last week. Yeah, it
okay.
was last week.
I think we talked about it right after it literally just
because
happened.
we started the podcast as the game was ending.
Right. And you were kind of telling me what was going on.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it was classless, man. Hey, no, again, if we've beaten this dog to death, sorry, we beat a lot of dogs. And
Yeah.
that's a bad horse. If you beat a horse, you don't beat a dog. Wait a minute. You bring your dogs inside. You bring your dogs inside in the cold. And you know what? If you got a horse, bring that horse inside something. Don't leave your poor horse outside. So that's unfortunate terms that we've used, kicking a dead horse. All right.
There you go.
Well, okay, I guess you can say that because you didn't necessarily kill the horse.
No.
It freaking died. It died. All right. And now you're trying to get it up. You're kicking a dead horse. But maybe we are kicking a dead horse with this. But hey, I don't care. It was classless. It was a classless. And it's not that there was internal classless. Like they should have cut Jameis before the next morning. Right. And now they're all trying to pretend he wasn't the leader. Dude, you're the quarterback. You're the guy taking the snap.
Yeah. And here's the thing about it for me. Because, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, of course you did. All the Falcons haters enjoyed it,
Yeah. So if you really want to, score, then don't. If you're going to go against the coach, just go up there and line up and run a play.
Line up and run a play.
Don't, where the defense, because here's the other thing. And somebody said that if you're lining up in victory formation, it basically tells the other team, we're not doing anything. You don't do anything. But if if the linebacker would crash the line and drill your quarterback when he's in victory formation, you would have 8 kind of fits.
He'd get suspended. He'd be
Right.
fined. And
Because
oh,
you'd
by
sit
the
down
way,
and you say, we knew, you knew we weren't doing anything.
victory formation only was approved by the league a few years ago, and they did it because up until that, a defender had to touch the quarterback for the ball to be officially dead. And people were pissed and they were trying to kill the clock. So they wanted to stop a defender coming through and touching the quarterback too hard because you can't do that anymore. That's why Joe Flacco can play till he's 107. Okay, because you can't hit these guys anymore. So
I would even think, if you think about it, it's probably on any other play an illegal formation because the line's off the line.
Dude, let's go back to this. It was a classless thing to do, and somebody's going to end up getting hurt because I promise you, and I'm not a Falcons fan. Obviously, most of the people, shout out to my friends around Atlanta, they probably are. But somebody's going to get hit. Then people don't forget that kind of stuff.
That's going to happen. It's going to be interesting next year.
Because what you did is you lined and hey, Jameis, leader, you lined up in the formation that was specifically designed by the NFL to keep quarterbacks from getting hurt and to keep linemen from unnecessarily blowing up on, like the game's over. It's a useless play. We don't need these gargantuan men to hit each other anymore. That's basically what you're saying.
Right. That's the thing. And Jameis's, I guess, argument was, because Tyrann Mathieu intercepted and ran back, and got tackled at the half-yard line. And he says, would it have been bad if he had scored?
It
wouldn't have been bad if he had scored because it was a live play.
As most things, as the crab leg stealing, W. Eaton guy, maybe he's a fantastic guy, right? He might be a fantastic guy. That holds no water. That holds no water, man.
Yeah, it's not, and that's what I think people don't get. I'm all for running up the score on the Falcons.
Sure,
it's not that they scored.
I wish Tyrann would have got in. Yeah. Or they'd have come up to the line, lined up and said, hey, and even tell them, here's what's going to happen. This guy, we really like this running back, and he hasn't got a touchdown all year long. So we're going to run him. All right, whatever.
We got 4 plays. We're going to run all 4
if you stop him. Okay, so I know. That's we went over that a bit, but so we all stand on it's. But like I said, I'll go back to that. All these teams, man, there are head coaching openings everywhere.
Yeah.
Not with the Saints.
No.
Now
we might get John Gruden, which will cause some more controversy, but
oh man, if they bring John Gruden in, stop it. It's not if, it's when. You bring John Gruden.
He wasn't even a great, I mean, if you go back to when, and I know we're getting way into football weeks now, but if you go back to when Gruden won a Super Bowl with Tampa, it was on defense.
Yeah, and he won it with Tony Dungy's team.
Yeah.
Tony Dungy built that team. They got rid of Tony Dungy for that was bizarre. And don't get me wrong, I mean, he's a fine coach, I guess. And he was thrown under the
political bus.
Under the bus. Oh, 100%. But no, man, you bring John Gruden, but that'll also show you how far John Gruden has fallen if he accepts any position with this. I mean, this is a guy that was getting paid. He was like the highest paid coach in the league in freaking Las Vegas, man. I mean, so that'll be interesting to watch. Other thing, just we're just talking football. It's sort of not just football. So the Texans have our quarterback C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
He was the second quarterback drafted and the only reason the Texans were able to get him because all season long looked like the Texans were going to be the worst team in the league last year, and looked like Texans were going to have the number 1 draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
And then Texans figured out a way to win a game that they probably didn't want to win. Next thing you know, Chicago apparently has the top pick. They traded to Carolina, who gave them a boatload of stuff.
Yeah.
To go get the quarterback we would have taken, but we said that didn't get him, so we took.
Yeah, and he's not doing very well at all.
So C.J. Stroud is setting. He's not necessarily setting rookie records, but he's doing some things that rookies have never done.
He's growing a lot,
and he should be in the talk for NFL MVP. He's not gonna be, but he should be somewhere in the top 5.
Well,
he's
at
had
least
an
rookie
amazing
of the year.
But here's the point: And this other kid, and I got nothing against what's his face? Who's the kid from Alabama that went
I don't even
to
know. I forgot his name.
is it Bryce Young? Does that
Yep.
sound right? Okay. So one of the things they do in NFL, not training camps, but in the combines, besides the fact you test all physical stuff and whatever, and
Yep.
then some people choose, and they give quarterback. Well, I don't know if they give everybody this test, but I know they give it to
I think they
quarterbacks.
do. What's it called? I forgot.
Wonderlic,
Wonderlic.
which is an unfortunate name for a test, but it's a
I think Jameis scored real high on it.
he didn't, right?
Yeah,
That's
I think he scored maybe the record low.
well, it's okay, and there's been some. So this past
He's
year,
just not a good test taker, they say.
yeah, Bryce Young scored the highest on the Wonderlic.
Wow.
CJ Stroud scored the lowest.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
CJ Stroud, and that they said that was one of the something that was supposedly tainting him coming out of college was how low he scored on the Wonderlic. Now it's funny to watch them interview him about that now, and he'll say stuff like, "Well, I don't, I'm not a test taker," but he said, his thing is film don't lie. He says, put on the film, watch, and watch the offenses he was running at Ohio, and Ohio State was running dang near professional offenses, but so something tells me they got to get rid of that test. Right. I mean, but okay.
Yeah. Change it up.
Something, right? You would think, I don't know. I've never taken the Wonderlic. I don't know what's in there. I don't know what kind of logic they have in there. It'd be like, to me, if they truly wanted to give you the test, they'd put like a big dude like 10 feet from you running full speed and ask you to do basic
get out the way.
Ask you to do basic math.
Gosh.
What's 5 out 3? 15.
Well, I don't know. You talked about Joe Flacco earlier. I think Joe's done now. He's going back to the couch.
Why not? He had a great run. You know what I'm saying? You sitting at home, doing whatever. You come back. He got to be a star. People in Cleveland love him. I mean, he had a terrible game yesterday, but that was just going to happen.
Yeah.
People also forget that I think when Cleveland was here, and Cleveland beat the Texans earlier this year, Amari Cooper set all kinds. He's set records. He did amazing. But two of our best defenders, Anderson Jr. and the other guy, were not in the game, and I don't think C.J. Stroud played in that game. So
did Dak make the trip?
Oh, not Dak. Dak is Dallas. Deshaun.
Not Dak.
Deshaun.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on the sideline. He was wearing his Browns. He was wearing his Browns hat on the sideline. He probably made more money in that game than anybody on the field. That ain't even a lie, man. No. I honestly think Deshaun Watson standing on the sideline with a beanie cap on was the highest paid player on that field. Watching my man Joe Flacco throw pick sixes.
Yeah.
I like when you throw them
two or three
back to back. I don't know if it's a third one, but he threw them back to back. But
man, when I was watching it, then it was like so out of hand. We switched over and started watching some quality TV. Love After Lockup.
Love After Lockup.
Love After Lockup, man. Prison brides and prison grooms. It was great.
Torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool. I don't know why I would think that would be a theme song there, but
it's not.
That's what you're watching, huh? Okay.
Yeah, we watched that yesterday. I watched several episodes of it.
I give you credit, man. You watch stuff that I literally just can't. It might be good. I might find entertainment in it. I'm just that way. I just like, oh.
Well, my wife put it on, and I was watching the game on my phone. So, but then as the game got out of hand, I started paying attention.
We do that sometimes. We sit down and watching TV together, but I really don't want to watch what we're watching. So I sort of pull the stuff on the phone. My wife gets a little frustrated with me, like, what you doing on your phone? I'm like, trying to escape whatever's up.
Yeah, see, that sounds like me. She and I are probably a lot alike, because I sit here and say, okay, even if we're watching TV, that's spending quality time together. Get off your phone. Pay attention to what I'm paying attention to.
See, I just don't take it to that level. I take it to like I'm in the same room. And if somebody breaks in, I'm going to protect you, babe.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Be thankful for what you got.
That's what I'm in here. That's what I'm gonna do. So how bad the TV was a few days ago. I'm scanning, and I don't know if what channel it is on the 100 something channels, but sometimes you catch stuff from the '80s videos. And man, I was just loving life. I mean, there's some '80s videos that I'm just jamming on, but one was just just a clip from a show that I forgot about that was the best, man. Don Kirshner's rock concert.
Oh, dude, yeah, that was
Don
like MTV
Kirshner's,
before MTV.
man, God, that was good. And then they had one that you wouldn't think when I saw it come on, I went like, but it was Irene Cara doing Fame.
No,
Remember my name,
yeah,
Fame. And it was just her. And it's so funny back in the days. So like you can hear all the background singers, you can hear
right.
there's
Yeah, they
nothing.
didn't even pretend.
She's just out there singing it. But to her credit, and I think she passed away, right? Didn't Irene Cara
Yeah,
pass away? Hey, shout out to her. They must have watched when they did what was the song What a Feeling from Flashdance,
mm-hmm.
right? Her dancing for Fame
That's where it
on the
came from.
man. I even called my wife to show my wife. I said, look at her, man. That's it. You see stuff in the past. Sometimes you see like people today and some of the things they do, some of their dancing and some of their moves, and you think like, wow, man, they came up with. They didn't come up with nothing. People are just watching old videos. But shout out to Irene Cara. If you'd have told me that I could sit there and be entertained by somebody just totally lip syncing, but she was doing it, man. She was hitting it. Don Kirshner's rock concert.
Mm-hmm. I watched on. I think it was from that. Uriah Heep from the '70s.
Ooh, what did they do again?
I forgot what that song was. Don't I can hear a lot of big, Hammond organ sound. Hush.
Right. Man. See, it's and I'm not gonna ask SIRI because it's gonna
Let's see.
Uriah Heep. Say
Uh,
Uriah
fine.
Heep. They're an English rock band. Blah blah blah. Uriah Heep. Origin, genres, members, past members, website. I don't know any of that. History, musical style, discography.
Stealing.
Very
Stealing is a song that I played,
stealing.
that I shared. Uh-huh.
Okay, I don't know. I see that one. Oh, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
looking
you
at
did.
studio albums. Okay.
Yeah, go back and look at my Facebook page. I posted it a couple days ago.
Okay. Right. Silly me for not studying the Facebook page, but
Well, I'm just saying, be
it's good.
easier, less
Well, we're
easier to
saying
look it up.
that and the Midnight Special used to be some good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Used to be some good stuff.
Back
What
when
else?
Wolfman Jack hosted it, didn't he host Midnight Special?
The Wolfman, baby. I can't do that as well as I should. Wolfman. No, I don't know. There was him. Good stuff. Good. Bring that stuff back. I can't see why. Maybe the musical acts don't do it anymore.
I don't know. I think about it a lot where because now I'm going, I listen to a lot of '80s stuff, but now I'm listening to a lot of '70s stuff. And maybe it was because it was the decades was a teenager.
Yeah, you were watching TV back then, and
And then, but to me, man, music it was, I don't know, just more defining of generations then.
yeah, I don't know that. Yeah, well, and I don't disagree, and I don't know if that's just. I know our kids think the same
Yeah,
thing. We're
everybody
old.
probably
We
says it
listen
when they
to.
get to this age.
Yeah, yeah, but no, we used to hang out. That you only had a few channels, so the
Hmm.
music videos were. But I'll do that sometimes. That is like the most enjoyable. Even songs I don't like, videos I used to hate. I'll watch them now and go, oh, that's pretty good. That's some good effort there, man. That's good effort. All right, this is a hard transfer. I wanted this something happened this week. I saw made me laugh, and I don't know. I thought about so I got to tell this to Juan. So I walk into the gym, and I always complain about all the old naked guys in the gym. So that hasn't been.
I
That's
saw
still
it popped up. This is funny because on one of my, on this day on Facebook, was from a couple years ago, and it was a video of you talking about the naked guys in the gym.
yeah. So that still goes on. They still got some. What it is about these old guys, man. I just dudes. I guess maybe you don't care. I don't know,
Well,
but
part of me, yeah, it could be probably most guys that age were in the military, where you had a lot of shared experiences. I don't
it's
know,
look, it's possible. And I'm not saying, look, man, whatever. Congratulations for still being here. I hope to be there at that time. I
with
don't
your
know
clothes
that I
on.
will. I don't know that I would be in a public place buck freaking naked or not know how to at least be a little modest, but okay. But that wasn't this. I walk in, I get upstairs at Lifetime to various, and it's a huge place, all these things. And they got this dude, and okay, I don't know how old he is, but my head said 80. Okay. Slim, kind of tall, let me saying, looked old. Okay. Hitting the heavy bag. And I mean boxing that thing, like jab, jab, boom. Not very fast, not very whatever. But I thought there is something scary about an 80-year-old guy who looked like, man, I hope somebody tries to steal my chair.
See, that'd be a good, that'd be the kind of guy that would go viral on the street corner for punching some thug who comes up to steal his wallet.
Hey, and when I walked by, I thought, okay, this guy's probably just, he's probably just throwing a couple. Then about 30 seconds, a minute later, I'm realizing, oh, this dude's working the bag. Now, he's not working it. He ain't Tyson it. He's not fast, but he's sizing it up, and he's freaking not a little fake jab. That dude's hitting the bag.
That'll wear you out, man.
And I had to find a way to try to go around the side and try to pretend I was doing something on my camera to take a picture of the dude. But I'm not gonna lie. I have taken pictures of alligators before that I was not nearly as afraid taking the picture as I was. And I'm gonna show that. I'll pop it up there later. I was more afraid taking a picture of this guy than I was when I've taken pictures of alligators. Because I thought, man, this guy knows I'm taking a picture of him.
Yeah, he'll forget the bag.
He has shown the ability to throw a stiff jab and a right hook. But again, I give credit to it. In fact, I respect the guy because I'm watching him do this, and I don't think I've ever seen that guy naked. So, so
you're duly impressed with his workout ability and his ability to keep on his clothes.
Duly impressed with that 80-year-old guy could just still pound that bag and not have to show me his junk in the in the dressing room. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Fine American. Fine American. All right. What do you think, man?
Hey, man, what else you gonna do? I think they're getting more than they paid for.
We got pipes to wrap or something. Water to run. I don't know. Go fight the global warming. We're gonna push the button. Get on out of here. See if any of this stuff stuck to tape. Y'all, you know what we had? It's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com. Thanks
right
to,
here.
Wherever you're checking us out, you found us. Do it again. Do it again. And remember, every week we tell you, not a suggestion, not a hint, not a right. None of this stuff.
Simple implication.
It's a freaking mandate.
It's a freaking mandate, bro.
Freaking mandate. Get out there and live your best life. But you know what? My wife gave me grief on that the other day. I was doing something. I forget what I did. I must have complained about something, or I was in a bad mood, or what. Any number of things that I do that don't sit well. And she threw that out. She goes, "Yeah, I don't know how you do that. You tell everybody every week to go live your best life."
Look, man, here's the deal. I tell people, if ever I'm going to write an advice book, the title is going to be "Do As I Say, Not As I Do."
Look, man, good intentions. You can try.
All right. If nobody said it was easy.
No, man. Exactly. Sometimes even we have to remind ourselves.
Right. If it was easy, we wouldn't have to remind you every week.
I was doing that the other day. I'm doing on a project right now, working on some stuff that is just annoying the pee out of me. And just you get frustrated. And I realize, again, got to do that Dave self-help talk to myself. Like, man, it's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everybody would be doing it.
Everybody could do it.
If this wasn't hard, there'd be 100 other people doing this right now. So suck it up, buttercup. Be glad that it's hard. Be glad that it's hard. And that's the problem, Juan. Like people with podcasts. People talk about doing podcasts. We just make it look too easy.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Even when we complain about the technology and the crap. I thought about this before we started this podcast off, all the issues going on. Man, for most of my work stuff, I'd have tapped. I'd have said, hey, let's try this tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll try it again tomorrow.
This is God giving me a good excuse to say, "No, go do something else, man." But no, America, because we're here for you.
We're committed.
We're committed. We're committed to you. So everybody, you guys have a fantastic week. Seriously, watch the global warming out there.
Bundle up.
Don't get your pipes frozen or frostbite on your toes during all this global warming. We hope you have a good one, and we'll be back again next week to find out how we all did. What do you say? All right, out of here. All right, love you, bro.
Back at you. So we got mail the other day. So I guess my father-in-law was under the weather around Christmas time and stuff. And yeah, he usually sends, like he'll send Joey a check and send Riley a check, and doesn't typically say anything about me. Yeah, I don't think he likes me. Probably because he doesn't. So, Joey opened it the other day and said, "Oh, look, he sent you a check." I said, "Get out of here." Said, "Yeah." And she looked a little closer. "Oh, he forgot to sign it."
Bro, hey, sign it. Did he sign? Yeah. Did he sign a check for someone else?
Yeah, dude, I'm signing.
You're getting there, man. You're getting there. Yeah. He likes you enough to fill it out, not quite enough to say, "I can't quite do it."
Yeah. It's over. Go home.